Today on Six Pack Cinema, we are reviewing a 2018 movie American Animals about four college students who attempt a heist of some rare books about birds, and the whole thing goes to shit. Thanks for joining. Let's get into it.
Dude, you should review movies.
Oh my god, yes.
Okay, I've had a couple, so movie review.
All right, welcome to Six Pack Cinema. Thank you for hitting play and hanging out with us for a little bit. We are reviewing American Animals, where it's not a current movie, but it's a great movie, and we all saw it independently and liked it. Well, I don't know. That's actually might be a spoiler. So we will get into this one. If you're a first-time listener, we thank you for joining us. If you're a repeat customer, thanks for coming back. The way we do it here on Six Pack Cinema is give our gut reaction to the movie, then we talk about things we liked, didn't like, things we'd change, things that we'd change. Yeah, I said that already. And then we rate it. We do a popcorn rating out of 5 popcorns, entertainment, enjoyment, and then we do a critical rating. Where does this land on a grand list of movies? My name's Jimmy. I got John and Dave with me here.
Hey.
Hello.
John, I think I'm going to have you go first because Dave...
Third week in a row.
Third?
Yeah.
All right, Dave.
I'm okay with
No,
it.
Dave's going first, but I just thought Dave just watched it. Like you and I had watched it a long time ago, but now Dave's going first.
I liked it. I thought it was really interesting how they would cut through different ways of like telling it. They'd tell someone like Sheehan described it to me a couple weeks ago, where like they'd be going over a plan and then like the scene would suddenly change because two different people were remembering it differently. I thought that was a really cool thing the movie did. I just kind of wish the actors portraying the real life people were stronger. I thought only one of them was a really good actor. The rest were just okay. But other than that, I thought it was a good movie.
All right, John?
Yeah, it's an excellent movie. The way it was put together, it was... I haven't seen anything like that comes to mind. I mean, I'm sure it's been done before. I'm positive about that. But it was...
I, Tonya did something similar, I remember.
Yeah, but they didn't have the real people in the middle of the movie, you know?
Yeah,
It wasn't swapping out.
Bernie. Bernie is the only other movie I've seen that does this.
Okay, yeah. When it has the actual people with the fake characters and like
Yeah.
placing the real Warren in the car with the fake Warren for like that split moment. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So it was interesting the way it was shot. It was not cookie cutter. We're going to get that out of the way. It means it's good.
Yeah, I thought it was really unique. Like Bernie kind of did this with Jack Black playing Bernie, and that was I can't think of the name, but I like that. I like the director's name that did that one. But it was, I didn't know this is how it was. Like we watched the trailer for this movie and we talked about it on this show way back, and I said I was super excited for it because I love heist movies, I love coming of age movies, I love true crime movies, and this kind of blended all three. But when it started and they said the real guy and it was a documentary, I was like, wait, what is this? And then they were blending the worlds. Not only did they blend documentary and fiction, they blended the stories. Like the guy sat down with all 4 characters and said, tell me your story. And then instead of choosing what he believed, he was like, I'm just going to blend this up. Was it a guy that looked crazy with a ponytail, or was it a professional businessman? You know what I mean? I thought that was...
They had a party or in the car.
I thought
they had like half and half.
I thought it was unique, and it's like a gutsy way to make the movie, and I thought he pulled it off really, really well. I'm surprised this didn't get talked about. We talked about the trailer, but we didn't talk about it that much afterwards. I don't know if it...
I think it came out the same week or right before movie, because MoviePass made this movie. They're the primary producer on it, and I think it was right when they went under.
Okay.
Summer.
No, it was before that.
But I think it was
like,
right around there. Like so,
It came out with a bunch of other good movies. I remember we watched something else, and we were like, we're gonna watch this. We're gonna get to it, but
they only
there's a lot
released
of other
2
great
movies.
things.
They did this and Gotti, which has a whole.
No, I understand that, but like saying like when this one came out, there was a bunch of other stuff that came out too at the same time.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. I thought you were saying MoviePass
Yeah.
released a bunch of good
No,
movies.
no,
I was
no,
like,
no.
I don't think so.
No, so
Is MoviePass completely defunct now?
no, they keep emailing me.
They just
like trying
they
to get
just
me back.
brought back the same deal we all had.
But then they say they had a caveat that says, but we if we find that someone is abusing this too much, we're going to revoke your membership down to 3 movies a month.
Jeez.
So basically, they're back to where they were last month. 3 movies only.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just get A-list, and you get 3 movies a week, and you can reserve ahead of time.
AMC's not around me, so I'm kind of screwed with that.
Move.
Whatever. No, I mean I was really high on this. But Jimmy, did you watch it again?
No, I didn't. I watched it only once, and then I brushed up. I wanted to watch it again, but I didn't find the time.
I'll be honest. Watching it again is gonna drop my popcorn score.
Why? That's not how it works.
No, yeah, I know you're right, but we're reviewing it for the first time right now.
Also, I think we like. I don't know.
The reason why I might drop it a little bit is because it's. No, you're right. I can't do it. It's a lot like like not to the same degree, but Sixth Sense. Once you watch Sixth Sense, you'll never watch it the same way again.
Yeah.
I watched this. I mean,
But what?
Watching it again.
Wait.
I know, like I said, it's not the same thing, but like it's like once I watch it,
What
once,
changed on second watch? So you didn't know the story beforehand?
No,
Oh, I was well aware of this.
you knew the entire story beforehand.
Yes.
Okay, I did not.
Oh, yeah. So that's
Yeah,
different.
All right.
I didn't know that before this movie.
I love heists, so this was like a heist in the news. So I knew this story. So that
Okay.
didn't change how I watched it. So you didn't know
my
they
big-
get caught.
I mean, yeah, they open up the movie saying like, oh well, the poor kids, they really ruin their lives. You know they get caught from the beginning, but knowing what happens and how everything goes down, I was like kind of getting pissed off watching it because they were really like were leaning into this the storyline of the art kid. What was his name? Seth?
Yeah.
I don't know. They were basically painting him to be like this woe is me guy. He's like, oh well, I didn't mean for this to happen. I don't know. I was waiting around for see what would go wrong. I don't know. I could have got out, but I just want to see how far we could take it. And it's like, well, bump, but you fucking did it, and like you were there every step of the way. And they were I felt like they were just trying to make him like a sad sack, and I don't know. It's convenient after the fact and like to do that to him, and he was very much involved, every bit as involved as Warren. Just because he wasn't as like outgoing and like crazy as Warren, he still deserves every bit of ridicule.
He didn't hurt anyone.
That goes back to whose story do you believe?
Yeah.
His story is that he got dragged along really and he didn't like stand up and be like, no, we shouldn't do this. But the other guy's story is that no, he was involved. So it goes back to who do you trust there?
I mean, well, at any point in either one of the stories, did they have a gun to his head telling him to do these things? No. I mean, he had choices. Was he bored? He said he's like I needed a story because every good artist had to have a good story, and he didn't have one. So he was looking for a good time. He was looking for something like meaningful. Whether it was like money driven, which it wasn't. He was more like a bored guy rotting in the suburbs, kind of. But it's just I don't know. I was just getting angry at his character the whole time.
Oh, yeah, I didn't get that. But that's
yeah,
good.
I didn't get
If you,
that.
well, as I said, I didn't get that the first time. The second time, I did.
I mean, what's really good about this movie is that it is all fun and games for them and the viewer until the scene where they hurt the lady. Until then, it's just a comedy. They're doing the American. What's the movie with Mr. Pink? Like, I'm blanking. Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs.
They're doing
yep.
that stuff, like Ocean's 11 stuff. They're joking around, and it's just like planning this big elaborate heist. And then they don't want to talk about the lady. Like, I'll take care of her. I'll take care of her. And for like me and you and anyone watching, it's fun. And then that scene completely alters how we depict them in our heads, how we depict like this heist. Because up until then, it's just they're fucking stealing a rare book. Like, I know that there's some book lovers that probably really care about that, but the average person kind of just laughs like, wow, it's a rare book heist. So I thought they handled that transition, that like, whoa moment, like, fuck, it just happened. And it was so sad.
Oh,
Yeah,
she
and I
kept
didn't-
screaming, and then like afterwards when she passes out and like it shows she pissed her pants.
Yeah, it was so sad.
That was brutal.
Yeah, that's the moment. Like when she was struggling and like screaming, she didn't pass out, did she? Like They tried to make her pass out, but she just didn't.
Or she like stopped screaming or whatever.
Yeah,
because
because she gave in. But you're right. When they panned down to see that she pissed her pants, I was like, oh, this is awful.
Yeah, and even the disguises were funny. Everything was funny, and then it
up
just
until then.
and then it gets so serious. They hit by the car. They get dropped off in that sketchy neighborhood. He like throws up, like everything, and then it all goes.
Throwing
shit.
up was funny.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I loved the storytelling. Like I don't know how else to talk about it, but the true story is bizarre. It's like and it's supposedly pretty true, like because they told the story in the documentary. That's why it's so cool that they did it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But again, each guy kind of like they're trying to get away from this situation as far as possible, right? 2 guys moved to California. 1 guy moved to Philly to become a filmmaker. They're like all taking steps to get away from it, except for that one fucking art kid who's still in a basement in the same town painting pictures of birds. It's like, what are you doing?
Well, I mean, he's like making good money.
Yeah.
Is he making money?
I think so. His pictures were pretty good.
Yeah, there was a lot of great
pretty I don't know about famous, but he's infamous.
What do you want him to do,
artist,
John? He went to jail for 7 years.
And
I don't know.
and he
No,
was in
I just
school
saying
for
like
being an artist. He has
And now
no
he's an
backup
artist. The
plan.
dude's reached his dream.
I don't know. I just feel weird about him staying in the same town painting pictures of the thing he fucking stole and got like I don't know. It weirded me out. The more I think about it, it's like I feel like he's like in a rut, and I think he's got like some actual mental problems.
He could.
I think he does, and I'm not being mean towards him. I'm just like I guess I'm getting like more annoyed with how like complacent he is. Like, well, no, this is just how it is. Like, no, fucking find some help, man. You're weird.
Most people don't move out of their hometowns and like people just live where they grow up.
Yeah, except for when people like go to jail for this really high like profile like heist where he is part of making some old lady piss her pants. It was weird. Get out of that. Like normal people run away from that.
What do you? This is a weird spin we're
weird
going on.
rant,
I don't
yeah.
understand.
Okay.
I don't understand it at all.
I don't
and
understand.
I
The dude just
disagree.
went to art school. He went to jail for 7 years. He gets out of
Yeah.
jail, and you want him to ditch the one skill he spent his entire life having
No,
and just go
no.
somewhere else? He's got
No,
no
just
money.
I'm saying don't paint pictures of fucking birds.
That's the one thing. That's what he paints.
No, not before that. He did still lifes and like portraits before that. He transitioned to birds after the fact.
But either way, like this is the one place of the country that are gonna know him, and like there's that thing that like fucking not Marilyn Manson,
Manson?
whatever,
Ted Bundy?
Charles Manson.
Charles Manson. There you go.
He got fan letters up until he died, and he was a fucked up, horrible individual. And this guy's not that bad, but there's always going to be people who, like, especially in that area, who want to buy art from that guy.
Okay, that's fair.
He was capitalizing on his infamy.
All right, we're talking this out, guys. I'm just telling you what's on my brain. I felt weird about it, and we're talking it
I'm
out.
on his Instagram page right now. The bird art's kind of cool. He still does some humans.
I mean, he's excellent at his art. I know that. I'm just saying I thought it was weird how they had a parallel of all the 4 guys. The 3 of them get out of Dodge and completely change their lives, and he just still stayed doing the same thing.
Yeah.
What is his Instagram name?
Spencer, I don't know. Just type in Spencer Reinhard art on Google. Do you think that Warren went to Amsterdam and actually had it set up? The other guys seem to be pretty doubtful that he actually had like a buyer set up.
See, I was going back and forth on that because watching it for the second time, I knew like to look for it, and I mean, you're never gonna know. Obviously, the movie they do this intentionally, but I think it's possible. Originally I was like, oh yeah, no, he never did. That's absolutely true, but like I think it's possible.
It is interesting. It is interesting that the way they got caught is because they used the same email to set up the meeting with the library that they used with the appraisal people. And that they were like 6 months without anything.
It was 6 months?
Yeah, I think they went like 6 months before they got in between
shit.
doing it and getting arrested.
Damn.
That's a lot of time to sweat.
That's a long time for them to like stew and break down. I wish they had like shown that better.
And they
Oh.
did do that cell phone fuck up where he gave his personal cell phone, but I think it was the email that did them in. The one guy, Chaz, the douchey sports guy, the getaway driver, he didn't ask me anything in AMA on Reddit. And it's one of the worst AMAs. Like, people just fucking tore him apart because he wouldn't answer any questions or give any details. He was just pumping out his book. That's a self-help book. I was like,
Jesus.
how are you doing that? But he also said that he said no to doing this for a full year before caving. So it was like, it wasn't like a 3-week plan. Like, this was really thought out.
So timelines are different.
Yeah,
Well,
they
you
have
ha-
shown that better.
You have to condense that shit for a movie.
Oh, of course.
Well,
No,
yeah,
I don't
but
fault over
I
that.
think they
But,
could have at least like shown seasons passing or something.
so that
Yeah.
lends to my argument. It's like, so this fucking guy Spencer had a full year to get out of this plan.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to get out of the plan.
So, but yeah, the movie was painting him as like kind of like begrudgingly going along with it.
Well, he's painting himself like that.
Yeah, the movie was
Exactly.
just showing what he was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I just don't like Spencer.
Apparently.
Yeah,
I didn't realize I didn't like him so much until just now. Cool.
the real Warren is funky looking.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
I liked so I think this is the sign of really good directing. All the documentary parts, like all the interviews, were
I was more interested in that than me.
they were really compelling interviewees, which is so hard to find. Like, if you were to just interview people, a lot of people don't know how to talk into a microphone or tell their story in kind of an honest way. So whoever was asking the questions and whoever edited it, I thought like that was really, really well done to make, because either all 4 of them are really compelling. I doubt that. I think that's like high odds. Or the questions and the editing of those bits was really, really well done. Because I was anytime they cut to the real person, I was just as interested as the acting, if not more.
Agreed.
100%.
Especially, I mean, you're right. I think Chaz for sure is a dud. Like you said from the AMA, no chance he's actually got anything to say. There's gonna be a ton of stuff that got caught up. Warren too. As interesting as he is, I feel like him in an interview is probably like off the walls, like every other direction.
I feel like they had to cut around a lot of his shit.
Like, I think the very first time they showed him is probably the general like feeling of what it was the whole time. It was like, hey, yeah, I got a tattoo. See, it's a T-Rex to the turning on a ceiling fan, like that kind of shit. Like just like kind of like just tangents everywhere,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Yeah. I thought that's like, it's kind of unnoticed, but I thought that was really good. But
Yeah.
Warren Lipka, he's on Twitter. Should we have interviewed them for the show? It's kind of
Sure, he
weird.
doesn't have that.
It's kind of weird that they're making money off this because it's not that bad of a crime, but they did like.
I don't know if they are.
abuse that
I know
lady.
that there is a law that like if movies about crimes are made, it depends on the severity of the crime, but the people who did it do not get any royalties.
They're getting I'll rephrase. They're getting notoriety in not a bad way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
that's
Like
fair.
they're doing interviews, they're doing talk shows, and
I'm sure their other businesses are taking off because of this.
they have.
At least getting a bump, right?
Yeah. I'm on. He's only got 859 followers on Twitter.
Seems low.
Yeah.
I think I'm one of them actually.
You are. You follow him.
Yeah.
Weirdo. Why don't you
Yeah,
follow
he doesn't
Why don't
tweet
you
that
follow
much.
Spencer?
'Cause he's gonna. I don't like him.
All right. Style wise and everything, I thought this was a really well made movie.
What was your favorite scene? Can we talk about that? Your favorite scenes?
I think I got to go with what Jimmy was saying earlier, where like the whole movie turns on its head, like the actual robbery, because it goes from
The
that
heist
fun,
gone wrong.
yeah, it goes from like the fun, wacky hijinks to oh shit, this is serious, and these people really hurt this lady.
It definitely hooks you like hardcore there.
Yeah,
What was yours?
Yeah. Mine is the kind of. I was really impressed with the sound all the way through, building tension, and when they're like going off in their separate little like stories, waiting to get arrested. It's like the car accident. There's the bar fight. This Chaz working out for some weird ass reason, and then something else I can't remember.
Supermarket freakout.
Yes, supermarket freak out, and it was all like getting louder and louder and like getting faster paced, and then the bus comes in and it just goes from like aggressive intention to this sweet soothing like music, paralleled with the aggressive like blowing through doors, ripping them out of beds. It was just, I love that. It was grinning ear to ear. I was like, this is awesome.
I saw things complimenting the sound and the score and all that too. It was good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I really liked the first heist when they're in the costumes and the tension of like they built up a lot of tension, and in the end it's just there's more people up there and they can't go. But the way they're looking around and freaking out, like I was like, okay, let's go, let's do this. What's gonna happen? Mm-hmm. And then nothing happened, but that's a good job building tension of a nothing scene.
Mm-hmm. And like they like you said, Spencer said, we didn't do anything yet. They didn't do a thing. You were like wicked tense about it.
In the Reddit Ask Me Anything, they said, why did you not wear the costumes the second time? And he said, because they were ridiculous.
Yeah.
And someone responded, oh yeah, man, that's totally a good reason. Like, what are you talking?
You want to look cool when you're robbing someone, man. You know
yeah,
that.
what costumes aren't ridiculous?
Did you guys like all the actual actors?
I didn't have a problem. The one kid that John doesn't like something's wrong with him.
Yeah, man.
He was in, but I don't know. He's just got like a doughy face, or
when he dressed up as an old person, I was like, oh well, he's just dressed up as himself. He looked exactly the same with his big ass nose.
He's in Dunkirk. I don't know, man. That actor, like, there's something
Yeah,
about.
the only actor I liked was Evan Peters, the kid from American Horror Story, and
That's Spencer.
the X-Men movies.
Oh, okay, it's Warren.
Warren. He was the only
He's
one
great.
I liked because he's a good actor. Everyone else I felt was just okay.
No, I
like
liked
the low key one a lot.
the skinny big cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's he wanted to be the FBI accountant.
Yes.
Evan.
The only scene I really liked for him was like when he was sitting in class and at the bar afterwards, and you could tell like he hated what they had done. The actor
Yeah.
did a good job there, but before that, I
don't know what else that kid's been in from, but I loved his kind of like monotone way of talking. For some reason, I was drawn in, like, oh my god, this guy's interesting.
He was like not like too cool for it, but he was just like not interested in anything because he was like, ugh, whatever.
Yeah,
He's very, I don't know. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
yeah. And then the Chaz dude, what else has that guy been in? I've seen him in a lot. Oh, Edge of 17, he was in that.
Mm.
He did nothing for me.
No, but he didn't take away from it either.
Yeah. All right, let's rate this thing.
Okay.
I'm actually interested to see what we have here, because John's score is now confusing me because I thought he liked it the most, and now I think he hates it the most.
Oh well, don't take that.
Well, that's what
you've
I
been
just
the most
I hate
negative about
Spencer.
that's what
I hate Spencer.
That's what I think.
The movie, if a movie makes you hate some character, I mean that's a good movie.
Well, I don't.
All right,
think
well,
you're-
what's your score then?
yeah,
Critical.
what's your critical score?
I was gonna go 87.
Oh, okay.
Does that seem fair to you?
Uh,
Seems like someone who hates it.
I'm not giving anything away.
I gave it an 85. Like I said, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a very interesting premise and how the movie was shot and edited together with the real people. But the actors weren't great, so I had to take some points off for that.
Just one guy whose nose got in the way.
My score's bumped up. I give it an 88 because from a technical and like brave standpoint, this dude's a first-time director, and to do this mix of storytelling where you have you have 4 unreliable narrators telling you a story, and to have that work, I was so impressed by that. And like I said, to make those interviews compelling, I thought that was really, really a good job as well. So 88 is my score, which brings us to an 86.5.
That's got to be our closest. That's all within 3 points.
I think last week's was the same, all within 3.
No,
Pretty
last
wild.
week was not. There was
Oh no, we
before
were
that.
all within like 5.
Us, we were very similar.
Okay.
All right, let's go to popcorn then. John?
I give it a 4.
Okay. Does that come down? Are you coming down from on your second watch?
Yeah, that's not fair. You're right.
You can do whatever you want.
I mean, no, you're right. A 4.5 because I was so goddamn high on it beforehand. I will not let the big nose kid drag me down. 4.5.
All right, I gave it a 4. I really enjoyed watching it.
I had 4.5.
Okay.
Sweet.
We were all on the same page with this one.
Well, after
it's a
doing
damn
this
shame.
for like 2 years, our minds
But no,
are
but,
all
like,
melding.
It's a shame that we waited like a full year to do this one.
Yeah, I was trying to see what we did last year. We did Shape of Water the week that this came out because we hadn't done it yet and we knew the Oscars were coming up. Then we did The End of the Fucking World. Then we did The Post. So that's why we didn't do this one.
That makes sense. Those were all 3 things that we should have reviewed.
We were trying to do the popular big things at the time. And for some reason this wasn't. But it's a 4.3.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Ooh, Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes. What do you guys want first, audience or critical?
I've already seen it because they when you do it on demand now they have Rotten Tomatoes up there.
Damn.
Sorry.
Jimmy.
I think the critics are going to like this for the same reasons I like it because it's unique and different and not cookie cutter. But I also think some critics are going to be like, you're glorifying horrible criminals.
True.
I'm going to go, what did we end at? We ended at 86. I'm going to say the critics were 83.
Critics were at 88%.
Oh, shit. So we're pretty similar to them.
Yeah. Audience, what do
Not
you
bad.
think the audience gave this?
85.
Audience gave it an 81. So still up there. Still good.
Yo, so this is like that's weird that the audience and the critics both are very similar. You don't find that often.
No.
I mean, I think on really good movies you do.
That's kind of really high for Rotten Tomatoes for this movie to have no one know about it.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But hey,
All right.
maybe everyone just hates MoviePass.
Now it's time for Sheehan's favorite question. If Ben Affleck was in this movie, who would he play?
Warren's dad.
Dude, I was going to say that too.
I was going to say Big Nose Kid.
What?
Oh,
To force Sheehan to like him. Could you imagine if it was all young actors and then Ben Affleck just playing
just
this
paint me in a
kid?
box. Jesus Christ, that'd be awful.
Warren's
Yeah, I
dad.
don't. I mean, just it fits. A failed father.
Yeah.
Oh, ouch. R.I.P. Ben Affleck's marriage.
Nice. All right. Well, that ends this episode of Six Pack Cinema. We thank you for listening. We will be back next week with Dave. Next Monday is going to be
Pet Cemetery is on the list, but I know
No.
that's going to be rough to get Sheehan to see it. So we'll figure it out. We'll tweet it out.
okay. We'll
it.
tweet it out, and in the meantime, on Fridays, go listen to our Hollywood headliners and news and going on episodes. And if you're just looking for more things to listen to, we have got a back catalog of 150 reviews. Well, probably like 100 reviews and Hollywood headlines. So if you've seen a movie and you want to hear people talk about it, we probably have done it. So go check those out. Thank you for listening. Leave a rating, 5-star review if you want. That would be cool. Go follow us on Instagram, Six Pack Cinema, Twitter, Six Pack Cinema, Six Pack Cinema Podcast. Get you to our website. And that about ends it. Thank you, guys. We will see you on Friday. All right. Love y'all.